William, Grace?
Preacher has a letter. Illinois Yankee letter.
A letter for us?
Outside of the envelope reads, Bertram Manning, 3rd Street, Pawnee, Illinois. To the family of the woman who disappeared, February 1863. East Branch of Bledsoe Creek, Brantford, Tennessee.
Well, it's about time we heard something.
Open the letter, honey. It's time we know.
September 5th, 1865. I was a young soldier, stationed in Gallatin, Tennessee. I was a private, and
it was my duty to go out from time to time to find provisions. On one of these days in the fall of 1862, we came across a pretty young woman beside Bledsoe Creek. She was picking delicate flowers, singing a soft song, and holding a little girl in her arms.
That was me.
We watched her for a while and listened to her sweet singing, but did not bother her. It was a peaceful scene that helped us forget the war. A few weeks later, we were sent out to the same area again in hopes we'd get another glimpse of her. I think we 5 soldiers had built her up into something she wasn't. Someone who would look upon us with favor. But what would she want with us? We were young and lonely, and even though we had superiors, there was really nothing to stop us from doing anything we wanted. This time, instead of being able to watch her from afar and keep a peaceful scene, we stumbled upon her and frightened her. She didn't believe it when we said we meant no harm. She yelled, called us names. We were hurt that this beautiful creature did not want us. We became angry that her man was probably killing our soldiers on the battlefield, and she'd probably kill us given half the chance. I am cursed by what we did next. War makes it easy to hurt, but hard to forget. I tell myself that as I'm writing this letter to you, but I must confess that I'm writing it to try and find my own peace, the peace that does not come from simply laying down of arms. After we convinced ourselves that this woman had wronged us in some manner, and after we added liquor to the recipe...
Grace, honey, I need you to go to the barn and collect the eggs.
Grandma, I want to finish the letter.
Don't argue with your grandmother.
We
We were angry. We each took another drink, and one of us grabbed her. I don't know who. She never had a chance to scream. We dragged her through the woods to our horses, flung her across the saddle, and we were gone. Her fear didn't matter, and pressing each other with our brutality did. If I had remained under my mother's watchful eye, I know I never would have done such a thing. But alone, away from church and family, with no law except the law of strength, I was a beast. No, I was worse than a beast, because I should have known better. Years of guidance should have stopped me. Better yet, I should have stopped it. But that would have required strength, and I didn't have that. We kidnapped her. We took our turns with her. We killed her. We laughed about it. We hid her body and pretended we didn't do it. We escaped punishment, but not ultimately. For when the war ended and reality returned, I went home to my family. They were so glad to see me, so proud I had fought for my country. They said how noble I was to fight to end slavery. I was treated like a hero, although I knew I was a monster. After things settled down, my mother asked me if I still wanted to be a preacher. At the time, she didn't understand the look of shame on my face. I cried that night, as my mother did, after she had guessed what I had done. I know I couldn't have hidden it from her any better than I should have hidden it from myself. Since that night, I have been haunted by my mother's look of disappointment. I have dishonored all who loved me and raised me and sacrificed so much for me. Your dear one has not been silent since that night I helped kill her. She has often visited me in my dreams. You will find her body beneath the giant sycamore, 1 mile east of the bridge that crosses Bledsoe Creek. There's a chimney, all the remains of an old farmhouse, and a decaying old barn that still has the smell of tobacco. This is what happened. Now you know the truth. I do too. I must accept it and any consequences that come from writing this letter. You have this letter. You will soon have her remains. You know where I live and my name. I hope that punishment in this world will result in mercy in the next. But I know I don't deserve something as pure as mercy. I expect this letter has caused you much pain. I hope, though, that you can forgive me in some way, because I cannot forgive myself.
It's signed, Bertram. I am so sorry, William.